Just visit the new CalgaryHerald.com with more of everything worth knowing.
I try to tell everyone, put a HEPA filter standalone unit off your furnace.
We've been seeing a lot of Mike Holmes lately. Not only is he on our televisions almost every night with his various home improvement shows, Holmes has gone multimedia. He's an author, he's got his own magazine, and now his own clothing line.
Competing at World Skills Calgary 2009.
His work with World Skills 2009 and his Grand Marshal for the Stampede Parade, there we go, has brought him to southern Alberta lots lately. Now there's a different parade for Mike Holmes to lead, an environmental crusade.
The problem is that we're not teaching green, and this is
Holmes is passionate about building green. He's constructing an environmentally sustainable community south of the city, using what he calls the best new technology available. In part 2 of our interview, Holmes shares tips with homeowners who want to go green.
To really pay attention to what should be in our homes, one, bring in someone that can test your air so you know, so it's knowledge, so you can think about what to do. Two, start educating yourself. You know, if you're going to buy things for inside your house, make sure it says 0 VOCs. It's inside your home. You don't want to breathe those volatile organic compounds. You just don't want to. It's not healthy for you. If you're going to do renos, make sure they bring in a negative air system and that they have an air catcher, we'll call it, that cleans the air so it doesn't go through your home when you're going to breathe those in, because this is not good for you. If you're going to do renos, it's actually the contractor's responsibility now to have the plaster checked for asbestos, to have everything checked. They're supposed to call in companies before they touch anything, because we do have 1-to-5 ratio asbestos in the plaster in certain years. And it's dated back to early 1910. I just took a house apart that I couldn't touch. I had to bring in a level 1 clearance for an asbestos removal because it was in the plaster. That was the first time I ever heard of that. We do know it was from the 60s to the 80s, this 1-to-5 ratio. But you're supposed to check. How'd you like that? You know, if you rip something apart, both for you and the contractor, if they didn't do their homework, they could be breathing in asbestos. Now, asbestos, unfortunately, is like a hook, a fish hook. Once you breathe it in, it hooks to your lungs. It doesn't come out. Everything else we can wash out, that's one you won't wash out. Kind of hangs around for life. Not good.
Not at all.
No.
So what about the no VOC paints?
0 VOC paints. This became a huge green marketing. I don't know if you noticed. Every single one of the paint companies has jumped on this. And that's smart, because now you're actually bringing out a paint that's clean and healthy for the family and the environment, by the way, because they're not putting that back into earth and debris, okay? They soon realized that if one company does it, and I'm talking about the different labels of the paint can, they all have to do it. So this has become the big thing. Look at the can. Read directions. 0 VOCs. I want it in my house. Yeah, makes sense. The good thing is that's demand, and that made a change quickly in paint, which we should pay more attention to the different products that we're using out there. That is just not demand yet. Solar we can add any day we want. Yesterday's a good day. You know, it's because we are not tapping into that trillions and trillions of kilowatts or megawatts the sun is giving off every single day. Did you know one panel, soon we're going to see one 4x8 panel give the equivalent to 1K. That's 1 kilowatt. On average right now we have about 200 watts a panel. Now how can you use that power? If we were to look at 200 watts a panel, do we need 10 watts to have 2,000 watts? We can actually add batteries to our house. And these batteries are safe, by the way. They don't blow up anymore like they used to. They're not a major concern, and they've become better for the environment. But we can tap into that power, store that power, and use that power. That's what we should be looking at. I want it in my home. Actually, I'm doing it in my home. It's just I'm kind of busy, that's all.
Should you be first, though, looking at that thermal break?
I would have to say yes. The first thing we want to be doing is looking at how we're insulating our home. That's one of the most important things. If I just told you this one thing, cool air comes in low. It's the way it is. It's heavier than hot air. Hot air obviously rises, heat does not. But cool air comes in low. So if we pay attention to our basement, crawl space, or anything like that, we stop that cool air from coming in low, and we stop the push of the hot air rising faster than normal. And now with the blanket over our roof, which is our insulation in our attic, we pay more attention to those two zones. We will save an energy cost because we're not losing the heat out into the attic, out into to the outside where we're trying to keep it inside. So if you did that, that would actually make a difference. Now, I would obviously want you to go further and thermal break your whole home. And did you know that if we insulate our house from the outside, whether it's in the States or Canada, we will save 2.5 degrees in temperature just by insulating from the outside? And that's a thermal break, not a thermal barrier.